Well, g'day everyone. Brian from Prime Cuts Lawn Care here, Yass, New South Wales, Australia. Just in a t-shirt and shorts, but Sunday afternoon about 4:30. So I've just got to do the service on my little ZT2000 42-inch. It's got 250 hours on it now. So I was just going to take you through that. Very straightforward. If I can do it, anyone can do it. So I've got the Kawasaki kit, which is the tune-up kit that you can buy. This one does the FR651V, which is what I've got, the 691V, the 730V, or all the FS series. So I've got all of those, so I'm doing the whole lot today. Normally at my 50 hours I do the oil and the oil filter. At the 250 I do as well as that I do the fuel filter and the spark plugs. And I forgot with the oil at 50 hours I also do the air filter. So the additional two things today are just the spark plugs and the fuel filter. So I'll just get things set up and we'll just go through that. I've already run the mower just to get the oil warm, and then we'll just gradually go through the rest. So here we are at the back of the mower. There's the little oil drain. Just because I'm doing this on a video, it's a bit tougher. So I just drag that down through. It's got the little cap on it. So you just take that off and then undo the drain plug. And I just take it all out. You can see there it's coming out. I just take the whole lot out just to check it. And just let that go. I'll get some paper towel in a minute, because you don't want to lose that little red plug. That's rubber, and that seals it up well. So that can take 15 or 20 minutes. I've already got some oil on my hands, so we'll just move that. Sorry for the background noise, but that's my Maggie's having a feed and one of the chicks making a lot of noise. It wants a feed. So I'll just let that go. I won't do the oil filter yet. I'll just wait till it starts to drain a little bit more. So while that's draining, everybody, new air filter, very simple. Lift that up. Undo that. It's not too bad. I do clean it every day. New one in. Make sure that's snug. All done. We'll move on to we'll move on to the fuel filter. So there's the old fuel filter, still connected. Big thing about it is just make sure you've got the arrow right on the new filter. So you can see the arrow there facing that way. That's the way it has to face, obviously going into the fuel pump. So I'll just get that organised and then show you. I just don't have my little pliers with me. One sec. So I have my little pliers. The other thing to have with you is I've got an old jam jar. So this has still got some old fuel in it from somewhere else. So I like to put that underneath it so that any fuel drains into it. So I'll just undo this. Just loosen it up a bit. There we go. So that's off there, off that little lip. And it's tight, it's very tight. Here we go. Just be as gentle as possible. Now let me say firm but gentle. Just let that drip, which it is, which is good. While it's doing that, I'll put the new one on. Bang, very quick. And then put the clip over that, so it's nice and firm. Get her over, that's got it. Okay, so that's nice and firm. So that petrol is drained out of the old one. We've got the new one nice and firm. You see there from the arrows, both in the same direction. And then we'll get the old one off. And it's a little bit different in its with its little clamp. So we'll just get that off. That's good. And pull the old one off. And then just let what's left in that drain. Put that on the ground. And put the new one straight on pretty quickly. And then put the little clamp on. Done. Easy peasy. A little bit of fuel there. I'll just tidy that up, but not as much as if I just let it go. So that's that, and we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, so the next we've got are the spark plugs. So one on this side, I've already taken the cap off that, I've loosened them up, and then on this side, one thing I did forget, even though I've got the socket, I haven't got the wrench to go with it. One sec. Okay, got that, and you'll see the two new ones I've got up the top here. So we'll just take them out. Get that in. Pretty easy, which is good, not too tight. There we go. Yeah, bit of a gap there. 250 hours, it's time. And then we'll just do the other side. Okay, and then this one, yep. So time for a change at the 250 hours. So we'll just get this new one in. I always I always do it with my hands first. I don't force it in. I just want it to go in as far as possible, and this is nice and smooth on this side, which is good. I'll tighten it up in a minute. That's in, okay, that's good. And then, excuse me, I'll just walk around the other side. And we'll just make sure that this one's right as well. Okay, yeah, that's going in straight away. That's brilliant. As I said, I don't tighten it. I like it to go in ham-wise because I don't want any cross-threading. Just get that in there. Get the socket. There we go. Just let it seal properly. That's tight enough, but the seal has to clamp in. And I'm just using my thumb. That's better. So that's all good, that's all done. Connect him back, nice and tight. Connect him back. Right, spark plug's done. So next thing, I'll just squeeze down here. So we've done, I'll just turn it back this way a bit and up a bit. So we've done the 2 spark plugs, we've done the fuel filter over here, we've done the air filter here. Now the oil should have drained enough, it's not dripping anymore. So I'll just reset up to where I was before, and then we'll do the oil filter. So I hope you can see that okay. There's nothing really coming out of there now. I've got the little plug, which just clean up a little bit with some paper towel, make sure it's right. That's good. I'll just put that in like that, because I've still got to get the oil filter out. So we want it to breathe and let everything sort of come out as it is. So I'll just move this back up here. Still a little bit out of the way, we want it because this is where the oil filter is. So I'll just see if I can get it in a little bit closer for you, then you can see. And I'm trying to see if you can see it all right. I might be better at that angle and a bit closer, if the stand will be right. So you can see the oil filler cap, and then the oil filter is just there. So I'll just tilt it a little bit more. There we go. So what I also have is I've just cut one of the old oil bottles, so I can actually fit it in here under the lip. And hopefully save a bit of spillage. It's easier on the ZT2000 than it is on this one. Okay, so the other thing that I have is my oil filter wrench, and put it on the right way. and it's like a banded wrench, so it fits on it really well. And just turn. See, that was tight, but not super tight, so it's pretty easy to undo. And this will be a mess, but anyway, I'll get paper towel and clean it up. There we go. And I'll just see, yep, that's easy, yep. And I'll just get that in under there. And that's hand. I can loosen that now pretty quickly. And then tilt it up, because it's still got oil in it, and then I'll put it on my oil drip tray and that'll drip into that. So that's good. I do have the replacement, which is Kawasaki 49065 721, and I'll just get some new oil and put that around the rubber seal. And then I'll put the new one on, and this is good because it's a bit more sandpaperish. I think I said that before in a previous video, that these replacement Kawasaki oil filters are really good because they're like that, so they're good to grip. And I've just got to get it on here. Come on, Brian. There we go. And just gently make sure, beautiful, that's spinning nicely. And I just do it to the hand tight. I'll get that out of here. There is oil there, but I'll use paper towel to clean it up. I'll get another. But I do have the drip tray. Oh, I thought I did have the drip tray underneath it. And I'll just clean that up. And then, essentially with the oil wrench, nope, wrong way, tighten her up a bit. That's good. Bit of paper towel just to, yep, that's good. So that's done. So I'll just clean up underneath where the mess is, and then we'll put the oil in. Okay, so oil time. I did make a little bit of a mess under the mower, but I'll clean that up. I've got some degreaser. So everything, so we can see here, I've got the drain pipe back in. It's firm. I'll just take out the dipstick, put that on some paper towel. Got my funnel. Oil for this is the 10W40 for us. Well, I guess, and it's a little bit different. I think there's 10W50 as well, but I use 10W40 here in Australia. And this is 946 mils or 1 US quart. So just depending on, you know, it'll take about anywhere from 1.6 to 1.8 litres. So we'll just, the first one I'll just pour straight in. And just do that gradually. Sometimes you just got to pull it back a little bit to get some air, just to let it go in quickly. Squeeze her out. Just let that go for a little bit. So that's 946. And generally what I do, because we've got our little gradations here, I like to take it down to about, well, anywhere between 300 and 400 mils gone. So, or 300 and 400 mils to go. So that would be about 500, that's 1.4, 1.5 litres. So we'll just let that go. And put that in. See where that is. Yeah, still got a bit to go. That's 600, so 340's gone. So still got about 200 mils at least to go. Be generous, Brian. And that's it, 400 to go. So I'll do another 100 mils. Approximately. That's about 350. And we'll just let that settle. Let's get that out. That's good. Where'd I put the paper towel? There. And we'll just double check with our dipstick. Get all the old stuff off and just see where it's up to. And we're sort of around 3/4, which is good. It's actually very close to full. So I'll put another dash in. And then what I always do is I'll check it again in the morning. I'll run it for a little bit soon. And then I'll always check it in the morning before I go out. And I do that as a matter of course. So well, I always check the oil every day on both, well, whichever mower I'm using, because that can be an indicator of something if oil's been used, as most of you would know. So that's pretty right. I'll just let that drain out. That's good. And start again with the dipstick. Yep, beautiful. That's what we want. It's if you can see the little gradations there, the little circles, the oil's on it, on that, and there's the top, so it's right on it. So I'll check that again in the morning and we'll see how it is. So I'll just pack up a couple of things and then I'll start the engine, and just to get the oil going through it, and obviously through the oil filter, so it's going to take a bit more. So just start it up, everybody, and it's running beautifully. And what that enables me to do as well when you run it is check for any leaks around the oil filter. So there's no leaks, it's nice and tight, there's a good seal there. And I don't know if it's just me, but it sounds like it runs better as well. I think, you know, maybe that's just me. I'm a bit superstitious or something, but it just sounds like it runs better when you've given it a serve, even when you've just changed the oil and the oil filter. So what I'll do is I'll just turn off for a second, and we'll let the oil settle, and then we'll recheck the dipstick. Okay everyone, so I've cleaned up a bit of the rubbish. Things have settled, and we'll just check to see where the dipstick is up to. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's one notch above what we call the empty level, so we still need to fill it up. So obviously running the motor, getting the oil going through the oil filter uses up or takes up a bit more oil. So we're going to have to put in another couple 100 mil, I reckon, of oil, and I've got that here. So we'll just do that. I've got one from last time where I had a little bit left. It's got 100 mil, so we'll whack that in. Let that do its bit. And then a little bit of residue, and I use these to refill them with the waste oil next time. And this one has got 300, so I'll put another 100 in, and then we'll just see how that looks. Yep, that's about 100. So there's 200 mils there left, and we'll just see how that looks. Okay. Take that out and check. Should let that settle for a little while, but anyway. So that's back up to where it needs to be. I don't know if it's easy to see that. You can see the drip that's just forming, but that was pretty much up there. But I'll just we'll just give that another go. So that's pretty good. The little dimples are all covered. So I will give that a final check in the morning before I head out, and we'll take it from there. So I'll just get myself a little bit organised and come back for the close. So just recapping everyone. So we did the air filter, very simple. We did change the 2 spark plugs either side. We did the fuel filter, done. And we've changed the oil and the oil filter. So nothing dripping, all cleaned up, all good. And obviously we changed the oil, which is here. So just sitting on the little ZT2000 42-inch. Everything's done. It's all good. As I said, I'll check the recheck the oil level in the morning just to make sure everything's right. The one thing I didn't show was just the greasing of the casters and the deck lift. There's 6 points, but I pretty much every week, maybe 2 weeks, I'll just give it one squirt out of the grease gun just to keep that going. And I blow down the mower every day. Now, whether that's with the little handheld blower or with my compressor when I get back here to the garage, to keep it clean, and that works well. So this, my little ZT2000 has 249.3 hours on it now. So this is, let's call it the 250 hour service. No issues. The only thing, and I think I mentioned it in a previous video, was the noisy transaxles, and these are the transaxles with the internal reservoirs. So the dealer, we got that all sorted, and they're not like they were, so which is great. No issues with this. I've changed one set of blades. I do them automatically at every 100 hours, but everything else, it's a great little mower. I highly recommend it. I've got the high lift blades on at the moment, and they cut really well. I think the next lot might be back to the normal low ones, but yeah, really tough, sturdy, robust little mower. And you know, I'll have this for a good while. The ZT6000's behind me, and it's going well, although the engines are on a stop with Kawasaki. So we got the email on that on the 26th of January, and here we are on the 3rd of March, and I haven't heard anything yet. So I'm following up with my dealer tomorrow just to see where we are with the ZT6000s. I just want to give a couple of shout outs to Doc and Sarah. Had a great yarn with them today. It was really nice to catch them on Instagram. And when it comes to this mechanical stuff, there's two channels that I watch at the moment. One's Tom Doby. G'day Tom, get it? And the other one's Jungle Bob. So I watch both of those, and I've actually learned a lot from them with regard to small engines. Haven't had any need for some of the stuff, but it's really interesting, you know, when both Tom and JB are pulling things apart, particularly carburetors and those sort of things. And it's something that I'm not a mechanic or anything like that, so I appreciate watching them. Keep up with the good work, you guys. And also, just a big thank you to everybody. You know, the last video I did, prior to that, I wasn't feeling 100% because of a water issue in Yass, and that week and a half to 2 weeks after that was a bit of a struggle. I still did work, but I was, and many of you can understand this, being 6 months in and then you get ill from something. I was in survival mode, so I was still working, but I wasn't doing anything else at all. But I'm fine now, and thank you everyone for the well wishes. I do appreciate it. Thank you to my subscribers. I'm over 200 now, which I never thought, and very appreciative of it all. So I'll try and get another video out later sometime next week. But thanks again, and I'll catch you soon.